Life Update 3, Abhiram Chaganti. It is currently 3:53 p.m. and I'm in the basement of my childhood home. Tomorrow, I pack up and go back to school, finally. It's funny because I was talking to this with my dad. Talking about this with my dad one time. Like, in college, you're geared up to take on a lot more work, which you do, but you're actually in school, in session, less than you are in high school, which I find a little ironic. But in any case, I guess I'm ready to go back, but in these videos, I'm supposed to be as honest and as raw as possible, right? And if I'm being completely honest, I have a bit of mixed feelings about going back because I fear of losing creative compulsions because this is my life. The reason why I love being home so much, and I've touched on this in my past videos as well, but I get to exercise my passion every day as loud as I want. And even though I have supreme belief in myself, I always feel a little bit restricted when I'm at school because even physically, I'm rarely ever alone, dude. Like, after all, I have a roommate, right? And that leaves me to not be alone with my thoughts a lot, which does a lot. I'll give an example, right? When I was in my freshman year, I had some lyrics in my head that I was trying to record on a beat, and I didn't have any mic set up or anything, so I just wanted to get the idea out before I forgot it. And I remember I couldn't get my voice to sound how I wanted it to in the walls of that dorm room. So I put on my jacket and I went outside. It was so cold. It was so cold that day. And I walked so far away from campus where I knew I was completely alone. And I got my idea out. I pulled out my voice memo and I sang. And I sang as loud as I wanted to. And that's something that I'm guaranteed when I'm home, but not when I'm at school. And that's why I kind of have mixed feelings, right? Because I've always had this... See, it's easy when I'm on social media to speak about everything that I've learned because I'm speaking to people that can gain from the information that I'm giving, no matter what it is. But in these videos, I want to be as raw as possible. And really, I struggle with a lot of fear of losing losing a grip on what I'm good at, right? Like, I record a lot of vocals, I design a lot of clothes, and whenever I go to school, I don't get to do those things a lot just because, like, for example, this semester I'm taking 19 credits, bro. That's like 7 classes. And I don't want to say there's not enough time in the day, but my mind can only comprehend and process through so much, right? And it leaves me in a state of not being able to exercise my passions on a daily basis, which leaves me in a state of fear of losing, maybe not losing the passion, but losing the creative ability and the capability to do that, to exercise that passion effectively and really in a great performative way. And that, I guess, one thing I'm trying to get better at is really just staying in the moment, right? That's where this whole thing circles around, because I find that the anticipation of things causes a lot of excitement in myself and anxiety. I don't know. I'm a little hesitant to use the word anxiety, but I guess that is what it is. It's about using words that I don't really want to use on myself, but I found that I'm never able to get to the root of what I'm going through if I don't be very honest with myself. And I feel like I suffer a lot from the anticipation of things. And I'm trying to get better at it because I know how important it is to be in the moment. But even throughout the week, I think to myself, like, what am I going to talk about in the video this Sunday? Or what am I going to post about tomorrow? And I feel like that causes a lot of stress for me. And even in this example I'm giving, like, the anticipation of going back to school is causing a lot of stress that I don't even have to go through right now because I am home right now. That's all that matters. I'm recording this video. If I'm being completely honest, like, this is my 6th or 7th take with this video because I always try to make the message as perfect as possible and deliver it in a way where people get it. But I always seem to miss out on the fact that and forget that even if I make it as perfect as possible, people aren't going to understand. You know what I'm saying? Or I should say not everyone will understand. And that's a battle, right? Like, I've looked at my previous videos and I realized that it was really just a long form of my TikToks, which is cool, but the whole goal of this channel is to, again, be as raw as possible. Like, apart from all the learning and stuff I share on those social pages, like, I want to really give you guys an insight on how I'm feeling. And I won't lie, I believe in myself a lot, right? I definitely do. Like, I wouldn't be posting these YouTube videos if I didn't think they would resonate. I wouldn't be making clothes if I didn't think I was a great designer. But I'll be honest, like, it's a battle. Like, every day it's a battle because I know that nothing I've done in the past matters in the face of the present moment. Like, if I'm not giving everything I'm doing the most earnest shot in the moment, then I'm behind. You know what I'm saying? And I think about this when I think of, like, nostalgia. You know how people will think of how good they were doing in the past? Like, I see this a lot in college, and even me, I've done this before. Like, they'll be like, oh my God, like, I used to hit the gym a lot, or I used to be so locked in, like, during this period of my life. But what I've grown to realize is that, like, the guy, let's just take a case study, right? Like, say there's a guy that's new to the gym and there's a guy that's, like, really jacked, and the guy that's really jacked has taken a long break from the gym. But then the guy that's new to the gym and he's a little bit big and he wants to get in shape, if he's going to the gym every day and maximizing the present moment, then he's more noble and more, what's the word? Like, he's more admirable because he is maximizing the present moment. And it's a huge reframe because a lot of the excitement, anxiety, and stress that stems in people comes from anticipation and not living in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get better at it, but it's easier said than done. I've wrote some things I want to talk about because that's how I can give these videos structure, because there's a lot that goes on in a week, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'll just give it to you guys straight. We have some quick updates, like in the waitlist. The waitlist is up and running. It's been up and running for, when did I put it out? Like a week ago? For the hoodies, that is. And it has like over 30 people now, which is great, which is awesome. And another funny development is TikTok didn't actually get banned, or I guess the impending ban got extended by 90 days. Which is good, because I was in the last video I talked about how it's not the end of the world, but even in the situation of TikTok getting banned and that brief period, it made me think about, like, see, in one of my videos I talked about imposter syndrome and how it's hard to have imposter syndrome when you're relaying your experiences in the most genuine way. But I've kind of had a change of heart, because in the growth of my social media presence and my digital footprint, I found it really hard to believe that people care about my opinion so much. Like, one thing I've been doing this past week more is going on TikTok Live, and it's allowed me to talk to so many people on the internet. I finally get to understand what they're going through. There's this one guy that joins the live pretty consistently, and I feel like I know him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was in his shoes at one point, and it's hard for me to believe that people care about my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, dude, like I said, I'm going to be as raw and honest with you guys as possible. I don't have everything figured out. Now, I think I'm in a great position because I know exactly what I want from life, and I know exactly how I'm going to do it and how I'm going to get there. But at the end of the day, like, I don't have everything I want yet. And that leaves me in a state of questioning my credibility. But again, I guess I should be taking my own advice here, because like, if it's a genuine telling of my experiences, people will resonate, and it's not very imposterish. And that kind of segues into another thing that I continually face, which is the internal struggle of seeing both sides. Like, it's hard for me to make decisions a lot of the time because I'm constantly trying to be as bipartisan as possible and not consider any bias and really think about both sides of the argument. And in this case, I know that people derive value from what I have to say, but there's also that internal struggle that makes me question why they do. And I guess that's the devil and angel on the shoulder, right? Which, yeah, I don't know, dude. You know what I mean? But other than that, updates, I have a song coming out on the 24th. It's called Auction, which is pretty cool. It's I'll show you guys the cover art. It's this picture I took at I believe it was the Los Angeles Art Museum, and I'm always trying to put my bad, yo. I had a moment of reflection right there. But what I was gonna say is that I always try to put everything I'm feeling into the art, because you know what's another thing that I want to talk about before I wrap this up is if you have stuff that you want to get off your chest, then consider being creative about it. Because this is just a thought that I had. I realized that I've been able to develop a lot of closure and reflection on things that I've been through by just making art about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I don't know how to describe this in a way that makes sense for the broadest audience, but like, anytime I pour everything I'm feeling into something I make, I always, on the other side of that creation, feel a sense of closure about the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I made the album last summer, like, those were all, that mindset and tone and those thematics I felt. And it wasn't until I got it all off my chest that I grew. And I guess that's the nature of the artist, right? Like, they need to create to express. So then by definition, they feel at ease when they express. But yeah, guys, that's that's pretty much it as far as updates this week. I'm working on living in the moment. I'm trying my hardest to just do everything I can to exercise that passion I have, regardless of which environment I'm in. And everything is going pretty well, all things considered. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy that I have people to go to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy because actually, I guess it's not that crazy, but when I first got to college, like that freshman year, I had no one to go to. I had no friends. I had no one to talk to. And I've never been in that situation in my life, bro, believe it or not. Like, I've never been in a state where I have no outlet, because I didn't post at that time. You know what I mean? I had no outlet at all. And it was pretty fucked up. So all things considered, right, again, like, I'm very happy that I've at least built some rapport back at college now, and I have people out there that I can trust, I can go to, I can talk to. You know what I'm saying? But that's it for this week, guys. And with that being said, Abhiram Chaganty out.